Okay.
All right, so we are here for week 4, Disney Night 1. We got to do it again tomorrow because it's Heroes Night tonight. So we got Disney Night. As I already told you, and as you already told me, I'm not a fan of Disney Night. Like I
I
feel
hate
like
Disney Night.
it's the most
It's so
played out.
washed up.
Yeah, it's so played out on this show. Like there's certain Disney movies that I love to watch, but this shit right here is so played out. I wish they would go back to like, I mean, if you're gonna do a theme night, like go back to like Latin night. That was the best thing
Yeah,
I think that they did.
exactly.
But other than that, I don't even like the themes on the show. It don't bring any ratings or any attention to the show, really. So it's like, what's the point in doing it? But that's
Agreed.
where we are. So we'll start off the night with the first dance, which was Jojo and Jenna doing the Viennese waltz. And this, like I said, I'm excited to watch this pairing because, like I said, Jenna can do literally whatever she wants to do. Like she literally can switch who she wants to play the woman role, who wants to play the man role. And in this dance, Jenna was Cinderella and Jojo was the prince. And I said this was pretty solid. Like I loved the entire thing. Like they were just floating around the floor. And this is the first time we got to see Jojo kind of like really like soft and slow and really show technique. And that's what she did. And I thought she led Jenna really, really well. Like really well. And I said I would get that. Well, I'll tell that later. What's your thoughts?
I think they're one of the best pairings on the show. I really like them together. And like JoJo literally surprises me every week. Like I'm like, what? How?
Literally. She's good. Like she's really good. And I like how she just don't care. Like she just does what Jenna wants her to do. Like Jenna will tell her, okay, we're gonna be dancing like we basically competing against each other one week, and then this week we're gonna have you as the man, and she does it. And she killed that. Like she literally killed that. I was watching Jenna between, like in between. I would watch her and then I watch her. JoJo was leading that dance the way she needed to, and I said I would have given that a 9. What you say you? Okay, we'll be right on. Yeah, and then because Carrie Ann gave it a 9, Lynn gave it an 8. I forget what he said as to why he gave it an 8, but considering that he gave this an 8, and then the 8s that are coming, I ain't too happy with that. And then Derek gave it a 9 and Bruno gave it a 9. So they got a 35 out of 40. So then we now move on to Mel C and your boy Gleb. They dancing jazz to it's Mary Poppins theme. This, when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, this could be the dance for her. Because Mel, you can tell she's got a dance background. You can tell she can just do simple movement. And this dance started, and like the first bit, I was like, okay, this is cool. I like the set. And then when they did that little Mickey dance challenge, which we didn't talk about with the Jenna and JoJo dance, but when they did this, that's when she got out of sync. And I was like, oh, like what's it seems like each week it's just one little thing in a dance that just happens that doesn't make it perfect. But besides that, I thought it was pretty good. Thought she was a little wobbly. She's got great feet and great legs. And her ankles, like her ankles are really arched. So whenever she points her feet, it's really, really nice to look at. But other than that, I didn't really see too much that was that. But it's Mary Poppins.
I'm indifferent. So I think it got copyrighted because I couldn't watch it with sound anywhere.
Really? Not even the YouTube?
Yeah, it's like there's no sound on the YouTube. On the
What?
Stars YouTube, there's no sound. But when it's so I was just watching it with no sound. I feel like the whole dance she was way faster than him.
She was off time, and that's the thing that I noticed. And yeah, because when they were doing the little,
like he never even told her. Like it literally looked like she's been doing that the whole time, and he hasn't said anything.
He probably did it. Knowing Gleb, probably did it. That's the one thing that I've noticed each week. She kind of goes a little ahead of the music, which is weird for her being a musician. Like you would think she would be on time. But that's one thing they got to work on. They got to work on that. Because from a technical standpoint, I think she's good. Like she's got it. It's just
good. But I also feel like if her problem is that she's ahead of the music, as a pro, Gleb needs to speed up.
Yep.
Like
either that. Yeah, either that or like if she's ahead of the music, it's like it's not that many steps either. It's like she's kind of rushing the movement, which I don't understand why. Because the music itself was not fast, so I didn't understand why she was rushing it. But I don't. Yeah, you're right. He got to either slow it down or figure out what the issue is and why she keeps wanting to go a lot quicker than she does, or like count the music. I wonder if they're counting the music or counting the steps whenever they're rehearsing. Maybe she needs to start counting each step: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know. But what did I say I was gonna give that dance? I said that I would give that dance an 8.
I would have given it a 7. But
Yeah, and I was about to say, after thinking about it, it probably should be a 7. I would give it a 7. I'll take that back. And Carrie Ann gave it a 7, and the rest of these 3 men gave it 8s. We're gonna get on them really the last 2. Really the one in the middle, split in the middle, that used to dance on the show, who should be. I thought with him being on the show, he would be a lot more realistic as a judge, but he's probably the worst one on the panel for me right now.
Yeah, he needs to go.
Like, he needs to be fired.
Disappear.
We'll get to him once we get to them scores that he did give out. So next we move on to my least favorite couple, Matt and Lindsay. They're dancing the quick step. It's to Frozone. Well, he's Frozone from The Incredibles, and Lindsay is Edna Mode. And before we get into their dance, their package, and just the way he acts, like with the judges and like and stuff, like trying to be funny and stuff. I'm like, this was not you on them 10 episodes of The Bachelor. Like, who is this new person
that's trying so hard? He's trying so hard
to be funny.
Like, the cringiest person I've ever seen.
Literally.
And it makes sense that he was Frozone. Like, it just fit.
Right. Right. And he looked just as goofy and as weird as I thought he would. Like, he was dancing the dance, very pigeon toe. It's like when they do those quick steps in between. It's like I don't even know what they're consistently called, but it's like when they get in frame and they do kind of like box steps, and his feet are always turned in. Not only that, it's just like when he does movements, like when they did the Mickey's challenge, he looked so corny and he looked so just completely uncultured. Like he just looked like he don't have any type of rhythm at all. And that's where I'm like,
it's giving
that should be one thing that you should be able to do, and he doesn't have it at all. I feel like the choreography was good. But other than that, like, was riddled with bad technique. His frame is always terrible, and that's something that Lindsay should be working on, but her frame ain't any better, really. So it's like, what can she really say? Because it's like she don't really know what she's doing either. This, I said I would have given that a 5.
Yeah, I would have given that a 5. It
A
was
flat 5. That right there, I'm trying to think that was the worst dance of the night for me. Yeah, I would have given that a 5. Judges gave it. Lynn, Carrie Ann, and Bruno gave it a 6, and Derek gave that motherfucker a 7.
What is Derek on?
This is where I was like, what are you seeing? Like, what is he looking at? Like, it's like he's trying so hard to give these people pity votes. For what reason? I don't know. But the minute somebody drops in that bottom 2 that is actually worthy of still being there, I don't want to see him. Oh my God, what happened? Your fucking vote. That's what happened. Like, he kills me with that shit. But next we'll move on to Jimmy and Emma dancing the Paso Doble to what's the song? Make a Man Out of You by Mulan. Love the movie. Mulan, I wore that movie out when I was a child. I wore that movie out. This for me, it was really good, but it wasn't anything special because I feel like that Normani Paso Doble that she did, that was all that was in my mind the whole time that song was playing. But when it came to the Mickey challenge, I feel like they did it the best out of anybody. Yeah. I liked the slow up. I liked how it just really went with the music. Like Emma was really listening to the music, trying to find a way to make that actually look like it was supposed to be in the dance, and it did. And I liked it. I like that. I feel like he could have done a lot better in terms of just technicalities throughout the dance. He led her well, but it's just the footwork and stuff, and that's just really where it comes down to. But that's where I thought about it. What you think?
I thought it was good. I think they're one of the better couples.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's Disney week. Like nothing is giving what it was supposed to give.
At all. To me, no. I was like, yeah, it was good. The Mickey part, that was the best part of the dance for me. That really was what it was. And then the song, I just like listening to the music, but I said I'd given that a 7.
I would have given it a 7.
Okay. And the judges gave that an 8. Carrie Ann gave it an 8. Lynn gave it a 7. Derek gave it an 8. And Bruno gave it a 7. So they got 30 out of 40. That is their score at the moment. We'll get to that at the end. But next we move on to Amanda and Alan. They're dancing a rumba. This was, I want to say it was Tarzan. I can't remember because I didn't write it down. It was Tarzan because he had that wig on. Yeah. And they were dancing a rumba. So this, when I heard rumba, I'm like, okay, this could be good for her because, I mean, rumba with women, it's all really legs. That's really all I see when I watch a rumba. Because she's got long, beautiful legs. She's got a great point because she is a dancer. And it lacked hip action. It did everything that I say I don't like Alan for. They stayed at the back of the stage the entire dance, which I can't fucking stand because I feel like it limits her movement. She can't really move. And it's like they do a lot of turns. You notice that? They do a lot of turns in their dances. And her neck is always over like this. And it seems like he's trying to whip her around as far. It's like he's trying to do it so fast, but it just looks so sloppy. And it was just boring to me. I didn't like it.
It was so boring. And the whole dance, all I could think is if I'd never watched this show, I would think she was a pro. And Alan was celebrity.
Right. Oh my God. I think he's so weak.
And why?
I think he is so weak as a person. He's like Lindsay for me. In terms of just technicalities, I think he's really weak as a technical dancer. Like, I think he's really terrible. Them fans gonna hate us for saying that shit, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I think he's horrible as a dancer. And it shows, like, he's the only one that choreographs dances to the back of the stage. Like, if anything, as a choreographer, you should want to utilize every bit of space that you have because it doesn't limit your movement. Like, everything looks so small and so choppy, and that's just really where it comes down to. And I feel like he's limiting her because she should be killing it.
She should be.
And she ain't done nothing so far. I can't think of a dance like that. What was it? Her week 2 dance that was good. It was really good, but nothing has wowed me yet. Like, she should have been done wowed me by now. Because she's professional. Like, she is a professional dancer. Like, she was on Broadway. So I'm expecting a lot out of her. And they're not giving us anything. And it really comes to him. It really comes down to him, really. Because if you have somebody with that talent, you should be able to creatively come up with something that's going to make a pop. Because you got people like Jojo on the show. She gonna pop regardless of whatever she's doing. But I said, what did I say I was giving that? Said I would give it an 8 because just from a overall technical standpoint, I felt like she was pretty decent. Like, her legs were great. She glides with her movement. It's like she's kind of digging her feet through the floor, which is what I like to see. But hip action was not there. So that's why I can give it an extra 2 points. And it just didn't wow me. So it's like, whatever. It was good, but it wasn't that much.
I would give it a 7. Realistically, I would give Alan 5 because he look like the pro. Like, there's no way it should look like she choreographed it and she's leading. Like,
okay, that is a good note. She did look like she was leading him. Now that I think about that, she did look like she was leading him.
There's certain moments in the dance where it literally looked like he was trying to keep up with her, but she was on beat. So it's like, it's him.
You just brought it up. I didn't think about it. I wrote it down too. When they did their Mickey section, you noticed that he was off time.
Yeah, he was.
And Lynn called it out.
I was like, what is this?
Yes, you just brought that back, and I almost forgot to mention it. Yeah, they did that Mickey part, and she was on time. They could say that he was the one that was on time all they want. He jumped, and she looked like she was very confident in what she was doing. Like, he looked confused. He was watching her the whole time and jumped. So yeah, that was bad for him. And has he ever done a rumba on the show?
I don't think so.
Not a good first one for me. I really I should have knocked it down a point, but I mean, we ain't judging him. He ain't being judged, but
yeah,
sometimes you gotta judge the choreographer because I mean, she ain't the one choreographing the routine, so you gotta pick it up. But they got straight 8s across the board, 32 out of 40. So we move on to Olivia and Val. They were doing the samba to Lion King. That's another movie I wore the fuck out as a child. Now this dance right here, I was really excited to see how she's gonna do with this, because she's had two ballroom dances the past 2 weeks, and then she had that Latin dance first week, which is a jive. That's not really Latin because you're not moving your hips, you're just kicking your feet. So I was like, I really want to see what she's gonna do when it comes to something with rhythm. I felt like she started off really, really stiff and labored. Like she did not look comfortable at all at the beginning. But once they did that breakdown and once they got to the end, she was in it. Like I was like, okay, she might be kind of good in everything.
Okay, my biggest critique for Olivia, like in general, on and off the show, is she can dance. She has no rhythm, but she has energy.
She does.
Like even when I watch her TikToks, it's like you'll watch and you'll be like, she's so offbeat, but she has so much energy that it looks right.
Right. That's a good note. Because she does. Like she hits the steps. It's like she hits the steps with conviction. It's just like you got to add more to it.
I also like I don't know what it is. I don't want to like body shame, but like I don't know if it's I don't know if it's because of like her body or what, but like the bottom does all the right things. It's the top that's so stiff.
But that's when it comes to rhythm. Like, but then again, I was gonna say, because with TikTok, most of them TikTok dances is really all upper body, so she should be good.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I said, like, with the TikToks and everything else, it's like she's not good, but she has the energy. But then it's like, look at her legs and her footwork, like it's good. Like she has the legs and she has the feet. It's just her upper body is so stiff. It just doesn't move.
It's like she's kind of rigid. It's like she's not trying to move her upper body. And that's where Val needs to start. Like they like to hold each other's hands. Start doing something else. You know they love to hold each other's hands. Jenna might need to go hit that box. Go out there and start beating a bag.
Like I could see why they got such high scores. I feel like that dance was so her. Like if you watch her YouTube videos or anything, like that's the kind of shit that she does. Yeah. So like he was smart with picking that choreography because she would do well at it. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like that's the easy way out. Like
push her. Make her do something that she's not comfortable with, and you got to work on it because that's the only way she's gonna grow. But what'd you say you would give it?
I would give it an 8. I don't think it was worthy of a 9.
I didn't either. I was like, why are they getting 9s? Like you trying to tell us the same as Jojo?
Jojo and Jenna.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like that didn't make any sense to me. Like JoJo's dance was damn near flawless, if you ask me. Like I gave it a 9 because it was just good. Like I felt like it was a little. I don't know what it was. It didn't make me give it a 10, but I didn't see any errors in her dance at all. This, as we just pointed out, she's not rhythmical. She's very stiff up top. So I don't know where them 9s came from, but I would have given them 8s. Yeah. They got 35 out of 40, so they tied with JoJo and Jenna. You was about to say something? No. So next we moved to the Miz and Witney, and they were doing a quick step. They had a Latin theme. This was another instance of lack of rhythm. Like I say it every week, he needs to sit and listen to music like all day long. Just listen to it. Because I mean, he's got the attack. He's got the right mindset when it comes to dancing. It's just the execution is not there. Like he's very slick. He's very like, I wouldn't say he's slick, but he's just he's quick with his feet. It comes off, sometimes it can come out kind of messy, which is weird too, because Witney out of all the girls is the most rhythmical, if you ask me. Like she's the only one that can really do some hip hop, and hip hop is all rhythm. It's just a vibe. You got to be in the pocket. I want her to sit and just play music with him over and over and over again. Let him find the beat and see what he does with it.
It was boring. I didn't watch the whole dance.
No, you didn't.
Well, okay, I started watching it, and at first I was like, "Who the fuck are they?" Like I didn't even recognize her.
I know
and
that.
Then I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Okay, next." I'm ready to see the next dances.
Not next, but they had a good part in the middle though. I say in the middle section was good. It's always the breakdown when they're not together. It looks good. Yeah. Like the dance last week. It was all right. It wasn't nothing special, like, but the beginning and the end, it's the beginning and the end of their dances that are actually good. But I said I would have given that a 6.
Yeah, 6.
Okay. And the judges, Carrie Ann gave it an 8, Lynn gave it an 8, a 7, and Bruno and Derek gave it 8s. Again, what's up with the scores? Like, what the fuck? 31 out of 40. Anyway, and then we move on to Kenya and Brandon, and this is where I'm about to get irritated again. So they had Moana and they were doing the contemporary dance. And first of all, before we get to talking about their dance, Kenya posted on Instagram a couple days ago. She said a line from Coming to America and asked Brandon what movie was this coming from. Why this man did not know what this movie was? How are you Black and not know what Coming to America is? Like,
it's giving Matt.
Literally giving Matt. Like, I was like, what? That threw me off. I'm like, but then again, it's like, you think about it. Brandon supports Trump. He's from Utah. That's all I need to know. Before we get to now, let's just go ahead and start about the dance though. So they had contemporary, like I said, and it was to Moana. This song I'm sick of hearing too. But Kenya, she's just naturally graceful. I feel like she's the most graceful dancer on the show. Like, her arms are very, very flowy. Doesn't look choppy. It doesn't look stiff. And I felt like she did really well. Like, she had pointed toes, and one of the lists, Brandon almost dropped her.
He almost dropped her.
Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, if you can't hold her, don't put the lift in.
Exactly.
And he comes from a studio. Like, he danced with Jenna, and he danced with Lindsay, and he danced with Whitney, where they've done contemporary. So you should know other steps besides just throwing lifts in there. So if you know you can't pick her up, then why are you doing lifts?
I was about to say, I felt like his choreography was trash, and like he's holding her back. Like, she can dance. If she had better choreography and a better teacher, she would be getting 10s already.
Facts. And that's where I say this male cast for the pros, I say about damn near all of them need to get the fuck up out of there. Because it's like, the people want to see women win the show, and the male pros just don't deliver when it comes to choreography. Like, when it comes to the women, you got people like Jenna, you got people like Daniella, you got people like Whitney that always just come out with the choreography. Like, it's always going to be something that you're going to remember, or it's going to look good on their celebrity. These men just don't do it. Like, they hold these women back. Like Brandon with that choreography and Alan with his choreography, they're holding people back that should be at the top of the boards. But I said I would have given that an 8 for Kenya's dancing alone. Huh?
I would have given it an 8.
Okay. Well, the judges, Carrie Ann, Lynn, and Bruno gave it a 7, which Carrie Ann is basically saying that's worse than The Miz, as is Bruno. And what else? Okay. And then Derek gave that an 8. That's the first score out of the dancers that he's given higher scores to that actually makes sense. The other ones, I'm not shocked Lynn gave her a 7 because Lynn don't like Black people anyways. So there we are with that. Anything else you want to add? All right, we move on.
I hope there's like a switch up week or something. Like,
they ain't gonna be no switch up week. They can't do that with COVID.
They need something like that, just so we can see her at her full potential.
They can't do that with COVID, but you know they don't be following COVID protocols. Like, you see, they be all together and around each other before they film. And I'm like, what's the point in y'all claiming like we're so pro separation and whatnot, but you got these people out here 2 steps away from each other. Like, where's the social distancing?
Right.
But a switch up would be nice. Who would you put with Kenya if you were to switch up?
I don't even know, because nobody's choreography is given.
Right. Literally. You know what? I know who I would put her with. I would put her with Artem, because out of the guys, he's the one that's delivering. He's delivering better, because we'll get to his dance later. But we'll move on to Brian and Sharna. They were dancing a waltz, and they had the theme of Snow White. as usual, like the first part of the dance, he was standing there, just standing there.
Around him.
Like she was doing circles around him. And then when they finally started to move, when they got in hold, he was just walking across the floor like he needs to go. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs to go. I think she literally does the same shit every week. Every week is just her dancing and dancing around him just standing there. It's like, okay, if he can't dance, he needs to go home.
He needs to go. He literally needs. It's not even like a Nelly situation. Nelly could he could hold rhythm. That's the thing. He had natural rhythm and he could do a step. He wasn't just walking around the floor and Daniella basically dancing around him. He was doing steps to where people actually wanted to see him there. Brian Austin Green, I feel like he's still on the show because people know that name is a big name, even though it's not bringing ratings. Like they only getting 4 million views an episode. But I said I would have given that a 4.
I would give it like a 5.
That was a 4 for me. With them judges, Lynn gave that a 6. Carrie Ann gave that a 6. Bruno gave that a 6. And Derek gave that a 7.
What?
That matches up with his score that he gave Matt and Lindsay. And as much as I don't like Matt actually did steps. So if you're going to tell me that you're going to give him the same score as Brian that stood for about 45 out of the 1 minute and 10 seconds of the dance, get the fuck out of here, Derek. Like, you need to get fired. Like, what? But now we're going to move on to Suni and Sasha dancing the salsa to, what is that movie? Encanto? It's a new movie, apparently. What you got to say? Because I
thought, okay, they're so fucking boring. I don't like them. I don't like Sasha. He needs to be gone. Like, he's literally only there because he's married to Emma. I think it was the most energy that they've given all season, but it still wasn't it.
Literally my thoughts. Like, that was, like I said, that was the most she's given, but that's not saying much. It still wasn't enough.
Yeah,
like she didn't do anything different. She still did a gymnastic trick in there. Like, it's like how many each week we've had a gymnastic trick in each dance. Like last week, that Foxtrot where he put that lift in there while she was standing on that box and wobbling too. Like, and then his choreography is so boring. Like, it's so boring. It don't make no sense. And I was sitting there saying, like, if they need a short dancer so bad, go get Paul from So You Think You Can Dance. Right. He would deliver some dances on the show. Like, he's the type of dancer that he's like a Jenna or a Whitney where they can actually stand in some hip hop. I need him gone. Like, Sasha got to get the hell out of here. Like, I said I would have given that a 7.
Yeah, I would have given it
a 6. A 6? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Not a 6.
It's like, how many weeks are they gonna not give?
All right, true. They're gonna not give a lot of weeks. I don't see her going home, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're not going home.
She's not going home. But they got 3 8s. Derek gave that a 9. You trying to tell me that's the same as Jojo and Jenna?
Derek needs help.
Off with his head. Anyways, that's 33 out of 40 for them. We move on to Melora and Artem doing the quick step to Jungle Book. She is what Suny needs to be. Like, she gives me something every week. Every week, she just blows me away. Because I don't expect her to be good. Like, when I saw her name on the cast, I'm like, oh, we got another old woman on the show. Like, she's gonna be the old one.
Exactly. I was like, wait, she's old and she's good.
She's eating it up.
Making, like, Artem, like, I was like, Artem who? But now I'm like, oh my god,
right.
Okay, Artem, see you.
And it's crazy too, because when I'm watching the show, I forget they're even there. And then when they get on there, it's like, oh shit, you can't help but remember me now. Like, I'm here. Like, they killed that. Like, she was jumping, like the way she was jumping with more power than Artem was. And I was like, this girl wants it. Like, she wants to win this show. Like, and I like her. I really, really like her. I wasn't expecting her to be as good as she is, and she's killing it. I said I would have given that a 9.
Yeah, 9.
And that's exactly what she got, straight 9. So she at the top of the boards. She's the first. This is the first week where my favorite dance was not Jojo and Jenna. This was it.
Yeah, they did good.
So yeah, good for them. So we move on to Cody and Cheryl dancing the jive. They had the Goofy movie. What did you think about their dance last week? You weren't here to talk about it. So what did you? I want to hear what you thought about their dance last week, where they was dancing in the house.
I gotta go back to it.
They was dancing in the house, at their house, and
Wait,
I don't know why it was so funny. Huh?
I don't think I saw them.
You need to watch it. They was dancing at the house, like how you in your house, huh?
They had COVID.
Yeah, because Cheryl got COVID and then they couldn't practice because she had to quarantine for 10 weeks. Then he ended up catching COVID. And then they got them.
Okay, I did see it on those 2 fucking screens.
Yeah, it's like we sitting here right now.
I don't care if she got COVID. She should have never got COVID.
She shouldn't have. Like they should have went. What'd you say? They should have went home.
They should have went home as soon as she got COVID.
I was saying the same thing. It's just like, why are we going this hard to make them stay on the show? When I mean, if you get COVID, you still can catch it again. But it's like, why are y'all jumping through hoops? And it was awkward, and it just made them look stupid on the show, really. And it was just funny to me. I was laughing the whole time because they was just going balls to the wall at their house, sweating. Cheryl had a little Beyonce fan right there. That shit was so funny.
The thing for me is like, when every other couple, even the bad ones, dance separately, they do better. But I feel like they did that and it was still bad.
Yeah. It was not good. Like, and it was ridiculous. Jazz. There was not no fucking jazz. But anyways, let's talk about their dance this week. This week they had the jive. Like I said, they were goofy themed. That solo that he did at the beginning of the dance should not have been in there. It was very labored, like it was stiff too. And he's supposed to be, I believe he was once a professional dancer. So it's like, who was you dancing for? And then whenever they came together and did the jive, I didn't see that much jive. I didn't like the choreography. I just didn't like the dance at all, really. I think this is definitely their worst dance. What'd you think?
I don't know. They just need to go. Like, I would give it a 5.
Oh,
I don't have anything to say about it but 5 and go.
I said, damn. I said I was gonna give it a 6. Yeah, I mean, it was not good. It wasn't good. Like, I didn't think it was good at all. And the judges weren't liking it, but they gave a 7, a 6, a 7, and a 7. So that's 27 out of 40. Go home. And lastly, we get my favorite couple, Iman, Shumpert, and Daniella. And they were doing the Foxtrot to Frozen, another song that needs to go. I'm tired of hearing it. But Daniella looks like the perfect Elsa. Like their
set was insane.
Right. The whole setup was just nice. Their costumes were great. The choreography was great. Iman is everything that the rest of these men are not. Iman gets out here and you can tell he just wants to do good. Like, he puts the effort in. He does really good. I feel like if Daniella was a little bit taller, things would be a completely different story when it comes to his progression through just technique and dancing in general. Like, they can't have body contact because if she was to get up under him, he wouldn't be able to see her at all. Like, she'd be right up here.
Yeah.
But I thought the dance was really, really good. Like, I loved it.
I thought it was good. I think, well, I'm biased because they're like my favorite couple on the show.
I ain't mad at them getting overscored either. I said I would have given that a 9. Yeah, no. Just for the simple fact of the way it made me feel. I felt really excited watching it. And I don't like Disney like that. So it's a Disney night.
We got another
this. But they got 1-8 from Carrie Ann. Lynn gave it a 6. Like, Lynn, get the fuck out of here. Like, literally, like, you didn't even need to. A 7 was right there. I'd have been A-okay with him giving them a 7, but like a 6, get the fuck out of here. Especially when you out here giving Matt scores. Like he gave that the same score that he gave Matt. And then Derek and Bruno gave it 8. So they got 30 out of 40. So then we get the judges' bonus points because of the Mickey challenge. And they gave that to Jimmie and Emma, and I agreed with that because I feel like they the way they incorporated it in their dance, I feel like that was the best that they could have done. And I feel like that was the best that anybody did with incorporating that in their dance. So I wasn't upset with that. So they tried to do a little fake out at the end. I don't know if you saw that. They tried to do a little fake out at like 9:59 talking about some. We got the judges can save one couple from the bottom two. Like it's 9:59. Ain't nobody going home. Ain't nobody stupid enough to believe that. But they tried it, and then they was like, no, everybody's safe, so we're good. So we got to deal with this shit tomorrow. So before we get off of here, we got to do the top 3, the bottom 3, and who we think's going home. So you start off with your top 3.
Top 3, Daniella Iman, Artem and his girl.
Melora.
And I don't know. I guess Emma and the
Really?
Emma and Jimmie.
Okay.
I don't even know their names. Oh my god.
Okay. My top 3 is also Mallory and Artem, Jojo and Jenna. Did you forget they was there?
No, but I feel like I can't pick them every week.
I don't give a fuck. Like they were right up there for me. Jojo and Jenna. Who'd I say? Malora and Artem, Jojo and Jenna. And Iman and Daniella. Yeah. They gave me the best feel for the night. Melora and Artem were just the best of the night. And then for me, Jojo and Jenna were the cleanest of the night.
Yeah. Agreed.
Bottom 3,
Matt and Lindsay. Sharna and his name.
Brian.
Sharna and Brian. And Alan.
And
just Alan himself.
Well, mine would be the same. Mine would be Brian and Sharna, Matt and Lindsay, and Sasha. Like, get them the fuck up out of here. But so who we think going home? I voted for Kenya today because I don't want her to go home. I feel like she's gonna go home though. I feel like the minute I feel like she's gonna get in the bottom 2. I feel like it's gonna be Kenya in the bottom 2 with. You know what? She might not go home actually, because I feel like if she gets in the bottom 2 with anybody else, because if she gets in the bottom 2 with a woman, I feel like she can go home. They're not gonna save her.
Yeah,
they're not gonna save her. But I feel like if she gets in the bottom with Brian or Matt, she'll stay. If she end up down there with the Miz, she going home, even though she don't need to. All right. Well, I will see you tomorrow when we talk about these villains. Apparently, that's what they're doing tomorrow, and hopefully we get something better. I wonder what kind of music they're gonna have tomorrow. But follow me on Twitter. Follow Rose on Twitter. I'll have that shit right in here and in the info box. Give me this. Hit the subscribe.
Yep, subscribe.
Y'all too. Comment. People like us. You see them comments? You ain't see them comments, but they like us.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.